Let's see, bro. Let's see what we got going on. So we're gonna, in this stream, it's mostly like just work that comes into trading, and I want to also kind of break down the days. So I want to journal, break down, and backtest. This is the plan for today. Yeah, the pair's not moving really clean today. I want to say they clean, but yeah. You ended up making a fucking gross trap here. I was watching this, I actually took this on the demo. Like this, I think. Bro, we had a still higher time frame target intact, but look at this gross fucking trap. Gross trap, man. Like just and then leave. Gross. But yeah, good thing we didn't trade this. Draw was this high resistance area overall, so UJ had a decent sell, but I just didn't like it. First of all, you had this displacement leg lower with a market structure shift here, and then it pulled back deeper. It respected this this FVG and then broke again. Technically, I would probably take my entry something like this, but yeah, it's apparently like rejecting really hard, so I didn't like how we behaved around here. We kind of started struggling really hard. We started building resistance, so not the greatest. Yeah, and I need to journal this setup, so I'm gonna straight up start journaling. This is gonna be a short journal because there's not many things to learn from it. I wasn't in the trade for a long time, but yeah, we're gonna do not consistency. We're gonna do, let me go back, delete. I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna use, I don't know what that is, probably this one. Yeah, this one. I will start with the journal from yesterday. It's not a lot to learn, I would say, but yeah, not a lot to learn, but it's fine. First of all, resistance. Second of all, yeah, it was bad. Now looking back at it, it was not a great trade, but high time frame, it was very unconventional, not really likely how I usually trade, not very high quality. We had reclaimed the VG already mitigated, supply respected, followed by 1 hour inverse, no real liquidity rate, no real area. Both were irrelevant, I would say. So let's go to the 1 hour. This is gonna be short. It's not gonna take so long because the trade lasted. The trade from yesterday didn't last long, but it's overall a non-conventional setup. First of all, and second of all, it's not a high quality one. Like, we just read the liquidity here. I started being bullish. We inverse, so it was very unlikely to be holding bearish. First of all, bias. So bias, kind of high time frame analysis was bad going against bias, and second of all was that high resistance here. That this really makes a difference in your trades. Like, no matter how clean your equal lows are, if they're protected by consolidation, most of the times price will not reach into those equal lows, and that's kind of exactly what happened here. And we caused a massive trend switch. So yeah, it was, first of all, bias was wrong. It was very clear that we're bullish. Second of all, we were shorting into resistance. If we didn't maybe have that consolidation, it would have been fine as a counter trend trade, and just to sweep this equal lows, but like this, nah, it's just too bad and very choppy. We traded off this inverse, and it's a very choppy inverse. We see throughout Asia, we didn't have a lot of momentum. We didn't. This place, it's just like very slow delivery. These are not setups you want to be trading in. Like clear lacking intent, I would say. So this is very definitely a low probability setup. This should have been a trade skip. So supply respected and inverse. I don't know why sometimes when I copy, it just does this weird thing where you see R, but yeah. And inverse also, displacement was garbage. We inversed really slow and really weird before loses a lot of relevance. So boom, intraday profile was weird. Like, yeah, it just was kind of dog shit trade, like a trending displace, like an Asian displace where we look to trade off that 50-minute VG, which again, in theory is not that bad. It's just that high time frame was too unlikely. So one thing the price will do a lot of times is when you take your entry, they're gonna get validated. In this case, how did my entry get validated? By this. right? We wicked and then we had an intent lower, but they got rejected off here. That this all these candles here, all they show me that the trade was okay. The entry was fine. The problem was contextual, which means either higher time frame or like context, details of context. That's how you kind of are able to reverse engineer what your problem is. Because entry just straight out the bat, when you see this, gets out of the way. Right, it's clear that it got respected. So yeah, that model isn't that bad. It's just that Asia delivered really choppy. We were trading in really high resistance scenarios. So the intraday profile isn't that bad, and our entry was off of 50-minute FVG, like a trending displays, and she got validated. So entry was fine actually, and she was fine, got validated by the rejections lower. Why did I take this trade? To be honest, valid. That's probably psychology good, no real problem. I was like subconsciously wanting to win because it was my birthday. That's why it really affected me when I didn't get it. What did I do right? Nothing. Prima entry, I would say, actually entry. What did I do wrong? Too many red flags. Trade selection. So yeah, trade selection was the problem here, and context was really bad. First, high resistance. Second of all, just bullish market structure coming off a really massive equal low sweep into this. So it's very clear that we were very likely of being bullish, except then bearish. It would have been fine for retracement trend, maybe trade, if we would have taken this high and then we would have had a more proper inverse, and then we wouldn't have this and we had low resistance here. That would have kind of made the setup valid. So these red flags should have made the trade already skipped. So how can I improve? Well, first of all, there were too many red flags. Red flags or trade selection, which was the problem. And then I want to talk about high resistance because it's a really important thing for win rate. And yeah, high resistance. Let me think about what I want to trade. Red flags, we had too many red flags, too unconventional the setup. Yeah, and I think also high time frame. I don't want to say likelihood, but bias, I would say, because here we were really clear on being bullish, that's for sure. We had equal highs. Like, this was so clear bullish structure. Like, let me remove the drawings and go over it. Like, this was such clean bullish structure. I don't know necessarily why I wanted to look at a counter trend trade. We had 4 hours, so we had this big ass range, big ass bullish range. We had at the top of the range, we had equal highs. We come lower, we sweep equal lows. Boom. What do we do? After that, we inverse this 4 hour. A very strong sign. Inverse this 4 hour. What we do, we hold that 4 hour towards equal highs. Like, it's so, like, it was so clear. Like, why am I going against trend? First of all, it was way too risky to do that, and we end up just retesting once, twice, three times, and then here we end up displacing with like a failed swing, and this is where we took our entry that got inversed, and then it ended up getting retested and held higher. This was a pretty decent bullish setup. So let's go over higher time frame first. So higher time frame, I would say, so clearly bullish. Like, I don't know what was going on through my head exactly. I think I really like drawing liquidity. I really like this equal lows here. That's why I mainly took this trade, because I really like this equal lows here. But equal lows are not gonna get taken when there's a really strong POI holding it. So yeah, that's for sure. So we had really strong higher time frame. Liquidity area trigger. Whether I have a follow up, but yeah. High time frame was extremely clear on being bullish, that's for sure. High time frame was extremely clear on being bullish, that's for sure. That's for sure. No doubt in mind. We had really strong equal lows getting swept. 4 hour FVG as an area, and a really strong trigger. 4 hour inverse. Okay. and we still decided too short into that inverse. Way too risky. Like a bullish edge is present. It's present on the higher time frame. On the higher time frame, why trade against it? Just really unlikely to play. Red flag. Okay, so first of all was higher time frame bias that I'm just gonna kind of write here. Higher time frame bias was the first red flag of this trade. Then the second red flag was the POI. We traded off a POI that already got mitigated. Not once, twice. We ended up trading. I think. Wait, let me actually understand this. We ended up trading on the third mitigation. Okay, this is actually zone behavior that I studied. This how zones get invalidated. I forgot about this. God damn it, this is very clear. So on the first mitigation, of a zone, usually price holds lower and initiates intent. On the second mitigation, it has a false reaction, and on the third, it usually gets invalidated, and that's kind of exactly what happened. So that's for sure. Like zone behavior, zone was extremely bad here. We should have been aware of that. So talking about zone behavior, we were in the third phase when the zone behavior / zone relevance. We entered after the POI was mitigated the third time. That's really garbage. The POI lost a massive amount of relevance. Not even thinking about zone invalidation. So it's very clear that this zone had a very low chance of holding, especially since it already got mitigated. Let's say if this wouldn't happen and we would have swept again, then maybe it would have increased the chances. But like this, it loses our relevance. So why lost relevance? Let me actually ask that question to myself. Why lost relevance? So first is deep mitigation, first phase, then too many mitigations, and then zone invalidation, and then no liquidity rate. I think this was actually no liquidity rate, zone invalidation, too many mitigations. That's what I would say. What the zone ended up not holding. First of all, we had a really strong inverse, so we can actually put this here. Why the trade was very unlikely to play zone behavior. Boom, high resistance, and also we need to add choppy. Not choppy. Lack of displacement. Boom. That's why the setup was really unlikely, and we had. So usually our area, we didn't have a buy side liquidity trigger. Buy side liquidity, and we had a really weak trigger. Really weak. So wait, one confluence, the trigger was this, but it didn't sweep buy side. It only had a POI, which is garbage. Like this is unconventional. First of all, I want to do like edge. So this was boom. Let me do this. Let me draw my tablet. 1 second. This was area. No liquidity, so we had supply. And this was our trigger, so it's basically garbage. Because we had no liquidity, we usually need the liquidity sweep into the area. In this case, we had just a supply, and this was our trigger of lower prices, which was also lack of displacement. So yeah, this was just garbage. Like the entry was like not in the entry. The edge was garbage. So on the area, let's go over this area. Boom. Mitigated. That's why it was bad. It was already fully mitigated. Then liquidity, Okay, liquidity, raid, none. We use the supply, which is again trigger, garbage. Trigger garbage. Yeah, it was just a garbage setup, to be honest. Boom. Okay, so high resistance, I want to talk about this next. And okay, lack of displacement maybe. Boom, we can actually move this higher like this. And why again the setup failed is because we had no fucking displacement. Like, this was garbage. This was garbage movement throughout the invalidation of that 1 hour inverse. So that's a clear sign that a setup is low quality. Come on, bro, what is it doing? Okay. Boom. Clearly dog shit fucking inversion. The inversion itself not bad, but the movement behind price, really retractive behavior, I would actually call this. So yeah, and I have to talk about high resistance here, which is the reason Drone liquidity was really good, but the reason the trade failed was because of all these coupled together. So first of all, it was higher time frame bias. Second of all, the edge was garbage. It was really unconventional, really irrelevant. And third, it was resistance towards the way towards our sell side. So yeah. Boom. Oh my god, why does this bitch get fucking bruh? Can you just, okay, thank you very much, snipping to your head, man. So high resistance. Okay, so we had a clear big ass consolidation that was cock blocking price's delivery towards equal low. So instantly it made it very unlikely for these lows to get taken, not considering the fact that we were shorting into a 4-hour average. Sometimes I don't know what's going on through my head, bro. Like, it's just like trade selection. It was one of my problems. Hi, bro. Welcome to the stream. You're one of my most loyal subscribers. I think you're on almost every stream, so I thank you for that, bro. So yeah, and I also want to kind of draw this if I can. Let me see. As always, if price, how do I say this? Oops, not this button. So no matter how clean the equal lows are, whatever they want to be, I mean, it's not like this. It was kind of like this, and then you had a big ass consolidation here that was protecting price. This is like the cock block, and no matter how clean the setup is, bro, even if you look, this is too dangerous to be shorting in. So this consolidation ends up protecting those equal lows, which makes it unlikely for them to get taken. That's kind of the thing that happens here. That's why we don't want to be trading in around consolidations. So this kind of becomes a danger zone. Yeah, that's exactly what happened in this trade as well. No matter how clean the targets, the liquidity is, if it's protected by some equal lows, it's useless, to be honest. So yeah, that high resistance coupled with dog shit edge coupled with shorting into a 1 hour AVG, that was a mistake. So I'm gonna make like a summary or something. Summary why the setup failed. First, high time frame being bullish, boom. Garbage edge. 3, high resistance. 4, shorting into POI. This was very unlikely setup to be played out. I don't know sometimes what I'm thinking about. Intraday profile, like a trending displays. Brother, what is going on there? What do you mean? Oh, you're my OG subscriber. Yeah. Haven't seen you in a while, bro. Duration. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? How much did it take? It took very little, the short. It was just very unlikely to play. It was dog shit, but I think it took like 21 minutes because I got stopped out because of spread entry. Entry was good, FVG. Sorry, bro, I don't really use Discord, but now that you said that, I'm probably gonna use it. 11, 11, 11. Sheesh, crazy hour to be taking this trade. 2.5. Potential already ended up like very small reaction. 0.65. But have you joined the server, bro? Like, or I don't know. Have you joined the server that I have in the description? I mean, wait, you are in the server. I remember this. You are in the server. But what do you mean? You're trying to reach out to me or the people in the Discord, or what do you mean exactly? I don't see anything. So retail lose, risk 1%, intuition, garbage, bro. I would say definitely this Reddit. This should have been skipped, but yeah, -1 edge. It was really weird. It wasn't even a gap to inverse almost, but it was really weird edge. Retracement. It was a retracement trade, but it was garbage. Like, you don't want to take retracement trades without seeing. Give us this app for journalists. Notion, bro. Notion. Wait. There you have. You can find this. Unaware of higher time frame. Yes. Too risky. Ignored warnings. I think it's more like ignored higher time frame, ignored warnings, too risky. And that's pretty much it. Like, I just went, or high, I can also say low probability. Not probability, I would say high resistance actually. Resistance. News, we didn't have news today. Performance fucking 3. 3 performance. Yeah, I think we're fine with this. Basically, it was just very unlikely to be played. This setup was very low probability. That was it. Nothing. ID USD, and there we finished it. 3. Oh, and trade selection. I also want to talk about this because this kind of opened my eyes. I feel like this is what is gonna make me break through. It's gonna be trade selection. Trade selection. Trade selection needs to be something done consistently to be able to achieve consistent profitability. This was clearly a trade that should have been skipped. I skipped, and now it opened my eyes. So yeah, I'm also gonna post this. Where's my boom? My Excalibur. Boom, boom, bro. Did you take any trades today, bro? Or did some of you guys take trades today? I didn't trade today. Use this and put it here. This is the formula for profitability, guys. If you're watching this video, keep this in mind. This is the formula for profitability. This is how an edge looks like. This is what I was missing. Why I didn't turn profitable is because I wasn't actively selecting the highest quality of trades, meaning I was not actively choosing to trade only A+ setups on a consistent basis. So it's psychology, Obviously, without psychology, you cannot execute. Like emotions are gonna interfere. Therefore, you cannot really execute your edge at your best. But then the second most important after psychology is trade selection. You need to be actively choosing the highest probability trades and skip the ones that are very likely to fail, like the ones that we had in this. This was a very likely setup that is gonna fail. Therefore, it should have been skipped. This is a very responsible for your win rate. Then it's execution, meaning it's timing your entries well. That's pretty much it, like executing your edge, execution or edge, however you want to call it. Then it's trade management. This is maximizing profit and make sure that, for example, yeah, you have like you protect your ass also, and then make sure that you make kind of the most amount of profit you can from a trade. And improvement is just the thing you gotta do to keep growing and keep turning more profitable, if that makes sense, because this is how you get to a point where you turn profitable, is through improvement. There's no other way. And now I want to think that this is it, right? Everything should be fine. Now it's just about maintaining it consistently. Execution, like trade selection, execution, and trade management, that's what mostly needs to be consistent. Psychology already is, so it's kind of fine. We're gonna see what it do, but probably next week we're really gonna start trading like really properly. But we're gonna see what we do. Jew ended up, I mean, Jew and Euro ended up going, but yeah, Jew fucking gross manipulation that it did here. Gross manipulation. But yeah, very high resistance. That's why I didn't like it trading here, because of this big ass consolidation. Imagine, like, I would have bought here if I wouldn't been like, okay, this is too big of a consolidation. I would have bought here because the entry looked good, and then because of this consolidation, price ended up reacting massively, stopping these people here, stopping us out, stopping this, and then going higher. So it was really gross, but this is why you should avoid trading into consolidations, really, because of these random reactions that price gives. Most of the times price ends up manipulating you because it taps into a consolidation, and the sellers that got built here in this consolidation, when price reaches this area, they're protecting their orders, meaning they're selling. That's why here it ended up getting manipulated, so because sellers pushed price lower. It's not a manipulation to 100 or stop losses, it's just the fact that there were still sellers protecting their position here. So that's pretty much it. That's why this manipulation actually happened. It's a lot of times that it happens like this. On Euro it was a bit different. It was a decent action move here. This was a decent gap. I saw this gap and we ended up tapping into it late. But yeah, equilibrium sweep of the low, this was a bit cleaner. I did say today I'm waiting a bit more towards the highest probability area, which was this AVG here, not the AVG at the top, or this inverse can also be used, but more like it was this one that got used. So this unlikely, or this is also what it takes to be a profitable trader. It always like choosing to position yourself in the highest quality scenario. Like in this case, you have two gaps that you can trade off. You have this one and you have this one. Now what a profitable trader does, at least in my eyes, it chooses to trade of the most quality one, of the one that has a higher chance of holding. Well, this one, what do you think? This one is very unlikely to hold because it's very overextended. So even though it might hold and you might miss a winning trade, you choose to not trade off this and wait for the higher probability one. And that's exactly what happened today. You could have gotten manipulated again massively here, buying out in London, buying here somewhere, and then price just fails to break, fails to go towards your TP, and then you get manipulated, price goes towards the highest probability one and then leaves. Like, this is what a profitable trader does, at least in my eyes, and this is what like trade selection does. You're choosing the setups that look good. You're choosing, I don't know, what you want to see. You're picky about your trades, and you're choosing to position yourself in high probability scenarios consistently, not one day. This is also one mistake that I did a lot of times. So for example, at the start of the week, Monday, I would have this habit of choosing only to trade of this highest quality FVG and end up winning because of that. And the next day and the next week, next 3 days, I end up choosing of the dog shit POI here and end up losing all the profit I made on this trade. So these decisions of choosing to trade only of this, that, because it's more high quality and this is too risky, have to be consistent, like every single day. Like that's how you turn profitable. It's not you do it one day, then the next 3 days you don't care. This is what I fail to realize a lot of time. You have to consistently filter, consistently, every single day, every single day, every single day. Not you do it once, then yeah, you don't do it. So yeah, I'm gonna take a 5 minute break, and I'm gonna be back to. We did the journal. I might do the breakdowns from yesterday, and then I can do the breakdowns for yesterday, then start back testing, and then do the breakdowns for today. So it's gonna be a bit of work, but yeah, it's fine. This is what it, and on this channel you're also gonna see what it actually takes to be profitable. You see me journaling every single day, 2 3 hours, 1 hour, 2 3 hours. Yeah, that is what it generally takes. And backtesting and being present on the charts, this is the work that has to be put in for you to achieve profitability, and there's no other shortcut. There's no shortcuts. There's no copying a guy's strategy and you expect to be profitable with that. That's never gonna work. There's no shortcut. There's no holy grail. The holy grail is hard work for 2 3 years. That's how you achieve profitability. There's no other way around it. There's no any shortcut. This is what it generally takes. bow, bow. This is what it truly takes, bro. That's what I was thinking about. This is what it truly takes. Hard work every single day. You ain't see me miss any days. At least recently, you ain't see me miss any days. And over the past 3 years, 80% of the days I haven't missed. This is what truly takes. And it takes a certain level of delusion to keep going. Like, if you're not delusional, if you do not genuinely think it's possible for you to achieve profitability, you're not gonna push as hard as it takes for you to turn profitable in reality, right? Because you're gonna push some years, definitely gonna push some years. So should we go? I don't really want to do breakdowns right now, but yeah, we might do them. I don't really feel like doing them, but I'm gonna do them because this is where your discipline comes in. When you don't necessarily feel like doing anything and you should be doing it, and you decide to do them anyways. So see, I don't want to from 2021 from here. I don't want to see any days missed. So now that I missed it yesterday since it was my birthday, that means I'm gonna recover. I ain't letting myself miss any days because I promised myself. And that's where it comes from. So I think to 22 we just held this 4 hour. That was it on DXY. We just held this 4 hour towards this low. I think this was main target. Let's see where, yeah, this kind of was target, but I feel like this void actually was our target. We just ended up holding a 4 hour towards. We did react off this slightly, but we used objective navigation. So yeah, let me place a song or some. So we held a 4 hour lower high towards strong liquidity, which was a voided gap low, and I don't know how to call this, numeric opening gap or whatever. We used objective navigation here, reacting over drawn liquidity just to retrace towards POR. You a bad bitch. If you don't know that meme, we ain't got nothing in common. You a bad bitch. And we had also nice here. Isn't this where we wanted to trade euro? Yeah, but euro, this could have been a trade here. I don't remember this, where euro came back to manipulate while DXY didn't. This is a huge difference between DXY and euro. Like euro, like DXY ended up holding a London FVG while euro came back to manipulate, which kind of makes sense. That not fully necessarily, but let's just focus on our sheep. That's how we're saying in my country. Let's focus on our sheep. Let's focus on our sheep, Gengi. Not on other people's sheep. And we had 1 hour gap confirm the whole of that. So this is perfect objective navigation, and we end up holding that hourly gap lower to fulfill delivery. Yes, sir. Wait, should I? Oh, I have, okay. 50-minute nice raid Asia to start it out, and then yeah, just London continuation. Really clean again, really clean DXY. I fucking love this pair, bro. I'm so sad I cannot trade it, at least for now, but I'm gonna get an FTMO account, and hell yeah, you better be right on trading it. Hell yeah. First target, final target, London continuation, very fucking clean. And we also had a retracement here to this 50-minute VG. We had a buy sell liquidity sweep into that hourly FVG, which ends up being a 50-minute FVG as well. So this was fucking textbook. This is why I love DXY. And sadly, DXY moves cleaner than all of the fucking pairs. I don't care what anyone says. So raid Asia into London continuation, really clean London continuation. Buy sell liquidity sweep into the hourly 1 hour FVG, that also is a 50-minute. Then we just massively displace, retrace towards 50-minute, and hold it before previous day low gets hit. So it's very fucking clean, Gengi. This pair is the cleanest pair you ever seen, and better trust me on that, sir. Yes, sir. Also another buy sell liquidity. So we're gonna look at London here. What did happen in London? Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Ah, you a bad bitch. You are. Why is that stuck in my mind now? It's stuck in my mind. I can't get it out of my head, man. I can get it out of my head. So this was London Target. This could have been New York, and this could have been final. I didn't really expect price to deliver that much, but we did. So haha. You and also refinement on the VG, man. And this entry was fucking clean. Why didn't you remove like this, bruh? Like this shit was clean as fuck, man. God damn. My brain damage is starting to come outside. Yeah, London Target Asian lows as usual. As usual. Raid Asia, really, I mean not clean entry, relatively clean entry here because of the consolidation. We really relied on the inverse. 5-minute FG getting inverse, and on that retest possible entry. Would have still preferred to see price confirm and then move lower, but it was fine. Like really takes with delivery here towards the day. We rebalance, we hold, we rebalance again here to hold lower. We actually come to these almost, and then let's look at what did lunchtime do? Lunchtime just retraced. If you look at price, lunchtime just retraced, pretty like a failed swing. Trap sellers here, very interesting. We ended up building this massive buy side liquidity. What alert do I have on gold getting? Oh, from yesterday. My bad. So a very similar day today. Also kind of an early raid Asia, a late New York reversal. Price ended up coming higher to mitigate that. Let's see, Euro did kind of the same, yeah. And the same, it wanted to tap this, it didn't really tap it, but yeah, yes sir, we don't give a shit. Baited sellers, bait. lunchtime just baited sellers after a very shallow raid on liquidity and a really good inverse actually. Then we end up holding the failed swing to come back and manipulate higher. I think this was this a PM session? Almost PM session. I would say like silver bullet most likely, but New York Open basically didn't. New York Open just delivered higher again, consolidated. Not really a strong entry here. Just fill this gap and tap this inverse right here and just kind of cleared the buyers, I would say. In this case, just came back again into buy side, into sweeping this New York Open sellers. Came back, sweep those bitches, and then really good inverse here to hold lower and trade. This was clean as fuck, bruh. We wouldn't have gotten trapped here because the entry was just garbage and we didn't fully close below the FVG, so that would have been invalid. But yeah, and this was New York target and final was lower. But yeah, let's just go over the entry first. This was like New York AM, I would say. New York AM again baited sellers, had a move, fake false slow move lower to fill the gap and clear out buyers, then sustained into stop losses, and then we had a really good inverse to trade off of to look for lower prices. That would have been our entry here. Really clean for London continuation. I ain't gonna lie, Gengi, this is a very clean London continuation. Then a potential scaling here on the continuation lower, potential scaling, still in silver bullet hours, potential scaling, entry. Oops, what did I do? So here we had entry, scaling, boom, really clean to hold lower, and then PM session just held lower. But yeah, this was overall really fucking clean. That's why I fucking love DXY, bro. And PM started here. PM started at 7. PM just didn't have volatility to do anything, basically. PM didn't have volatility to do shit. And now I'm gonna copy everything. Oh no, oh my god, imagine I wasn't able to be doing that. I want to copy this and put it into my playbook on London continuation, because I always want to get a bit more data on my setup. So boom boom, we're gonna do this. And what day was it? 22 July. That's all I need to be completing right now. I also want to make a screenshot because this is fucking clean as fuck. So boom, let's do this. Boom, really clean stop loss, very well protected. And yeah, that was it. Would have targeted, let's say, at least this. Boom. We use 50-minute here, buy sell liquidity sweep. Boom. I would just put it like this because it's simpler and it suits the image. When this is the 1 hour that we had, I mean 4 hour actually. No Gengi, wait, where am I looking? Yeah, this was the 4 hour, most likely 1 hour. Boom. Can I put it like 1 hour text here? Yeah, that's nice. Okay, or we can do 4 hour. 4 hour with a 1 hour gap to confirm lower prices. That was pretty much the trader. Want to do this like this can be deleted. This was the buy sell liquidity sweep that we got, and this was a hourly. Yeah, this is clean, sir. Clean, sirskis. We gotta love this DXY, man. How can you not love DXY's delivery? That's my question. How can you not love DXY, bruh? If you don't love DXY, you're racist. Beautiful. London continuation, really clean off the raid. Asia, same here. Always, like, most of the times London continuation works well is when we raid Asia and London, and then we form a range like this. The same thing happened here. You know you're a bad bitch. I have that meme stuck in my head. You know you're a bad bitch. The most brain rot meme of I mean, it's not brain rot, but let's go over Euro now. Where is my boy Euro? Not here, not in playbook. In here, not even in here. What am I doing, bro? What am I doing, bro? Where an analysis? Okay, now I'm back mentally. I was brain damaged. Like, sometimes my brain damage comes out. I didn't forget you, bro. I like said multiple times, I do remember you're my first support ever. Like, the first guy that legitimately commented on my clips and supported me, and it really motivated me a lot. Like, if you weren't there, I would have very likely just given up. Like, for me, you made a difference on me just pursuing this, also YouTube and stuff like that. So you did matter. I'm never gonna forget. I did even save like a screenshot with your names in some folder, if I remember. Like, I did save it, and I said my first support ever or something like that. Or yeah. Let's see, what did Euro do? I basically just kind of did this. If we're not thinking about 23, yeah, it basically did this. Just try the intent, deliver towards here, and deliver towards here actually. Boom. Boom. Bro, Isaac. Boom. 2 targets, previously high. I think not previously high, but like lower time frame target, and kind of the same thing here, but weirder than DXY. So, which app are you using? I'm on Discord. I chat there, but no response. I don't see where you chat, bro. Like, I did see you were typing in the group. I think I saw you type here, but I didn't know what to answer. Like I saw your trades. I don't know if this is you. Wait, I think I have streamer mode enabled, so that's why. Yeah, I need to disable this shit. Automatically enable and disable. Not this, but this. Is this you, no? Or not? Or I'm confusing you? Cause I don't know what your Discord is. I'm not sure. But Toby, you know, like you're Toby. This is probably you. I feel like this is you, no? I don't really understand. So when you guys are posting trades, I'm trying to understand how you guys are trading, but I don't really understand. I'm not saying don't post them, because I really want to see your guys trade, but yeah, we just see the market differently, and sometimes for me it's hard to understand what this is. Tenga, like what is Tenga? RS flip. I have no idea what these things are, but this is probably you. I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure, but this is probably you. Toby Loba, or how how do you say that? Toby Loba. This you. This you right here, man. But yeah, let's get back to our sheep. How we say. So Euro delivered from a 4-hour AVG to internal drawn liquidity and towards almost external. That's pretty much it. And that's kind of what didn't use objective navigation here. Wait, okay. So it's the 4-hour, and London ended up printing a really small gap here, and that's why New York had to come back and manipulate once more. So compared to DXY that ended up holding a London range, Euro had to manipulate because here London range was too weak and irrelevant, I would say. Boom, first target, second target. What did I do? Oh shit, I didn't want to short. Yeah. Is that you, bro? Like, if you're still watching this, was that you? Is this you? Toby Loba. Euro didn't end up playing London continuation because the range was weaker and we had to manipulate. So yeah, we had no follow-up here to confirm that 4 hours holding. We had a decent 50-minute gap, but yeah, just got manipulated. No real reason. We didn't have a lot of resistance here. I would say like the intraday profile is like an Asian plus London raid. Oh, I haven't seen the setup in a while. Fake out in London, no real strength. That hourly gap was the how do I say, the missing piece or the hint. New York was pretty clean on the 50-minute here. Sometimes 50-minute I have fucking clean. But let's compare ranges. Yeah, London range was looking way better here compared to New York, Euro. Yeah, but this entry was good. I don't remember exactly why I didn't take this. But I would have very likely taken this. I have no idea. I didn't like this. I had a kind of lot of resistance on the highs. Yeah, I don't remember it now. And the stop loss was extremely big here. I think we would have gotten toward, but stop loss was definitely not in a safe spot. The entry pattern was decent. Send your WhatsApp number. Nah, I'm sorry, bro, but I'm not gonna do that. Like, I trust you, but I'm not just gonna like share my number. I'm sorry. But we can talk on Instagram if you want. Like, we can talk on Instagram, we can talk on Discord. It's just that I don't know which profile do you have. So if you want to talk on Discord, just DM me, bro. Like, you are able, if you're in this group, you're probably able to see the members. I'm pretty sure. I don't know exactly how to do it. Invite people. I knew. Why can I see? I knew you were able to see members, but I don't know why I can see them. I think here you would have show member list. Okay. And here you can see the member, you can see my profile, then click on it and just message me, and I'm gonna answer if you message me. So yeah, I don't have idea more. I say that I think this is you, but I'm not sure. You haven't really answered my question. Is this you or not? But yeah, pretty strong. As in terms of entry, how it looks, it was pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie. So where's Notion? Okay. Decent entry, not gonna lie. Decent entry, not gonna lie. Just too high of a resistance in general, but really clean entry overall. No clear targets. Then we end up getting reversed on in lunchtime. We failed the swing, very similar to one. I think here the XY ended up holding higher to manipulate. Then I don't know. I'm tripping maybe. And we also played like a short-term short in here pretty nicely. Towards New York Open ended up sweeping the low, while on DXY, New York Open. Wait, it's hard for me to. Like, I don't know. New York Open ended up sweeping the high, so this meaning New York Open ended up sweeping the low here, but instead of reacting of inside the range, yeah. It came to London lows, my bad here, so we just came to manipulate pretty much pretty weak London range, not bad, but pretty weak. So lunchtime just initiated the retracement swing, I would say. Initiated and formed the retracement swing that we held pretty well towards Asian lows. New York AM definitely played out the short right here. New York AM played the short towards London lows. And then it reversed here in Silver Bullet. I mean, it reversed pretty decently. Played a short. And then we had, this was good. This was actually a pretty good entry. This was, again, very likely another trade I was able to take. Would have been able to take even of this first entry or even the failed swing, which is here. And on the inversion here, we could have had another entry. Boom, here on this wick we could have had the, if we didn't like this reversal, we could have had the failed swing, but this would have been an overall overextended entry, and I don't know realistically if I would have taken it, but we would have had 2R on the high. So yeah, this is also pretty good. Like price action was good here, but we didn't have a 1 hour follow-up. This thing, does that really matter? We have two gaps here. We didn't really need to see the third one form. We can anticipate it. Forming and holding higher towards this. Yeah, this was a valid setup to take, but yeah, I just wasn't that present on the charts yesterday, and I also took a loss. So this was first entry risk. So I don't know, first scaling. This was very clean to be taken towards London highs. First of all, London highs were intact, and this was intact. So clean entries here, very clean. Yeah, we didn't need to wait for a follow-up. We could have already traded this. A very strong market structure shift, failed swing here, and this would have definitely been an entry I would be taking. Maybe would have taken 0.5 around here, I'm not sure, but I think like the risky trade would have been fine here. And then on the failed swing on the retracement at 0.507, and on the inversion here I would have entered. Even though the inverse looks choppy, I think it would have been fine. Just highly confident in bias. Then look how much we would have gotten. We would have gotten crazy R, that's for sure. So let's go back. Boom. And this was a nice failed swing right here. Would have gotten our 2R easily. So this I'm also gonna save in Asian plus London raid. For reversals in generally, I look for a bonus swing. I don't really be trading like off the risk entry like this in a case like this, unless we're looking at continuation. It's weird to say. On DX1, I would have looked at the risk entry without waiting for the full swing because we were kind of inside of 1 hour. But on Euro, we had a very wide POI. That's why in this case, I want to say, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Let me think about it in a soul perspective. I think that can be one of the cases. Like for me, I'm not sure about this, but yeah. I'm gonna also copy this, put it to my playbook. Where is Asia plus London raid? Not range, raid. Apparently I don't have Asia raid, no reverse, London continues training Asia. RMC failed swing. Yeah, I haven't seen failed swing in a while. Asian plus London range trending Asia. Okay, so we gotta create it apparently. I thought I have this table. Not table. Database inline. I'm gonna create this and call it Euro USD. We're just gonna do boom. That's it. Just copied everything we need here. I feel like, why is this not working though? Boom, and the first entry also could have been possible in here. Yeah, this is definitely a trade to be studying. New database. Yeah, we don't need more than that, and I want to also kind of make a, and also 50-minute was extremely clean here on the retracement. Here we had a lot of potential entries to be taken on this trade. It was really clean, the setup yesterday. So this is our setup right here. Asia plus London raid. Boom, boom. Really clean setup overall. Come on, snipping tool. What is it doing, man? What is it doing, man? What is it doing, man? You know you a bad bitch. Yeah. You know you's a bad bitch. Wow. Tell me it's gonna show thank you very fucking much. A lot of fucking setups that we have, bruh. Bruh. See how many models I've spotted here. These are generally the models I'll be training with time, with work. I'm gonna take a break again because I'm retarded, mentally ill, and need help. I need head. 5 minutes and I'm back. Trading does take hella fucking work, bro. So I realized now we're just doing the breakdowns and I gotta do two. Probably gonna skip backtest since I already backtested today, but yeah, it takes hella fucking work, me. But I ain't gonna cry because at the end of the day I do like it. I'm not gonna lie. So let's see. Probably gonna go a bit more, a bit faster. Here we ended up playing a London continuation apparently. Pardon me. Similar to what to what DXY did actually. So let's delete this shit. So we had, this was 22 July, we had a very small FVG here. Wouldn't really call it an FVG, and we just hold towards this, which is main target, and this FVG right here. So this were our targets for GU. Boom 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 boom. Oh, these right here, this was a breakaway, like a breakaway inverse or a breakaway gap. So like a breakaway towards a respection, I would say. So it's probably our profile. Breakaway to respection, like more like similar to Euro, which is held towards draw. Draw in this case, final draw on liquidity was a 4-hour FVG. That's pretty much it. Let me do this so you can do it faster. And we ended up holding a halfly mitigated FVG here on. Wait, why didn't I look at buys here? And we also had that like difference between Euro and GU. This is why GU ended up playing the London continuation, because the 1-hour gap was actually relevant compared to what Euro had. So this is actually a pretty clean hourly profile, I would say. Pretty clean hourly profile. Raid Asia off that low and off that half mitigated FVG, and then we just hold 1-hour FVG higher towards strong liquidity. So this was way cleaner than Euro. Actually, G was definitely the best pair. Very different, way better London continuation here. Way better. Way better London cont. That's pretty much like Raid Asia into London continuation, and we did have like a really nice sweep here. Sweep, tap into that FVG, boom. Stop loss at this low, target Asian highs is how the model says, and this would have been actually. I have no idea why I haven't traded this. I haven't traded it because I took the fucking dog shit AUD/USD trade. Aha, I don't remember why I didn't take this. A really clean Raid Asia. Clean Raid Asia here, totally valid. Didn't take it so because took an L for London. I don't know why I chose the most dog shit fucking pair out of them all and traded them when there were two opportunities to be trading. There was the Euro trade in New York and there was the GU trade in London, so we could have definitely had a way different outcome for the day. Way different outcome. Way different outcome. But we same hold that retracement range. We failed here, which actually failed. It just caused a sweep here, and it caused a lot of sellers to be stepping in. So lunchtime kinda initiated a engineer of liquidity. It initiated the retracement range, which only held to manipulate lower time frame liquidity. Didn't held lower towards London lows like Euro did. And AM we didn't do shit. We just in PM session we ended up leaving. Here we didn't have an entry for, so then we could have been that way different outcome for the day. Way different outcome if we wouldn't trade that dog shit fucking. And we also had UJ. We also had that really crazy UJ trade. So we had 3 fucking very good trades, and I ended up taking the most dog shit fucking the most dog shit fucking pair. But it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta learn. But what matters is that there is possibility. Always there's opportunities. We ended up consolidated a lot, then left after sweeping the lows. Decent entry, possible to take. Don't know for sure if I would have taken it. But yeah, could probably save this into raid Asia, right? Final TP here, main TP, Asian lows, then we let it run. Here we would have gotten mitigated. Also, it mitigated break-even orders wouldn't come into when it swept that shit. So yeah, but we would have been chilling. But yeah, this was a clean fucking train, man. And PM didn't do anything. So I'm also gonna save this to Asia raid. I think, yeah, fail. We had GPUSD 22. So we had three really good opportunities to be taken in yesterday. Actually, this is why it helps to be doing breakdowns, because first of all, you gain data, which I just gained data on 3 trades. For my AUDUSD we already did since it was our trade, but it just, you really gain data a lot. Wait, we ended up holding this weird pricing lower of the 4-hour, I would say, of the inverse actually. So we ended up holding this inverse, which I know I did say at some point. Wait, okay, I did see this DAX here, and I did think about it leaving. I don't know, I didn't like this consolidation here, but I kind of knew it's gonna leave. And oh my fucking god, bro, god damn, there's always opportunities in the market. It's just up to you to take it, and these days I wasn't really as present as I should, but working towards that. Don't you worry about shit like that, Gengi. Don't you worry about shit like that, because at some point we gonna be doing this shit properly. It's just a matter of not giving up. Just keep going, gain momentum until you're there every single day and taking the best opportunities you can. We held the 4-hour inverse lower towards external liquidity. That's it. We don't need much more on but this was actually, again, this was pretty decent as well. I don't know why I didn't trade it, because range low got taken. We used objective navigation on the hourly. Hourly to hourly. We ended up just holding over the flow really nicely here. Hourly to hourly. Hourly to hourly. So that's pretty much it. Ain't need to be none more like trending Asia. Bro, we had a trending Asia. I know I watched this, but I don't know what's wrong with me, bro. Why am I thinking when there's 4 fucking opportunities in the day? Trending Asia to London can't. Bro. Oh, I did take this on the demo. I do remember now. I did take this on the demo actually, because we had the sweep here, which was really choppy. I do remember this right here. And yeah, we just ended up kind of holding this inverse. Boom. So we could have also traded here, good inversion, but took this on the demo on a 1-minute trade, but really weird. On the 3-minute we didn't end up mitigating the best area for entry. We ended up mitigating the low FVG, if that makes sense, that ceiling FVG I will call it, which was, where was we? Yeah, and I took it on here, I think it was also it wasn't. Oh, I feel like this would have been a good 1-minute entry to take. God damn, good trending Asia. The Asia was good here. We see the hourly gap. We just objective navigation here, then we just massively fucking melt. Boom and boom. So we can do this now. London, let's see what lunchtime did. lunchtime just initiated. Wait, my light is kind of hitting my monitor. I can see. Okay, now I can see. Again, like I see, like lunchtime baits sellers a lot of time, or baits in 10 a lot of times. Like here, just baiting 10 to just come back and resweep that hourly, and then to massively like to finalize the move. So this is actually, I would say, New York AM, because I feel like this matters to be put together, if that makes sense. So lunchtime just initiated a move lower. Trapped sellers played down to recent low, then they get massively get massively manipulated, and because of that, price just melts to finalize the move towards strong liquidity. PM kind of retrace, then we start retracing pretty aggressively here. Aggressive retrace, aggressive retrace. So let's also boom again. Like, this is why it's very useful, because you're gaining data on your setups. Like, god damn, we had DAX, we had 22 July again, another pretty decent setup here. Very decent, could have been taken, but again I end up choosing the most dog shit fucking setup, which is fine. Boom. So with the DAX, let's see UK, we're just gonna boom 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 boom, do it fast. You give a, oh shit, oh my god, this was my demo, but it didn't hit TP. On my drawing it did, but I don't know why it didn't here. But yeah, let's see UK. I don't really feel like doing UK, but I'm gonna do it anyways. No real structure, we just held this inverse and we were bullish, like inverse with an inverse here on UK. Boom boom boom, inverse with an inverse. Not very clean, really clean high time frame, I would say. I think we had some sort of gap here. So we had this, it was the hourly inverse. So then we I wanna kind of temporarily delete this. Then we had inversion, market structure shift, which already this was enough confluence, and then we hold this hourly FVG higher. So this also was an opportunity. So we had a lot of opportunities in that day. So held an hourly inverse and market structure shift that got retested later on to hold higher. Boom boom boom. Let me go back and also have that trade there for London. Where is it you at, man? Yeah, I really liked here that the range was voided, that's why I was targeting this. This was a demo trade because we took buy side liquidity and like the inverse, targeted the void fill and the last gap. So that's pretty much it. Like, nothing more to explain. Like, it just held here, boom boom boom, then again retraced, and lunchtime kind of finalized the move once again. Lunchtime had a fake move, then we reverse. We have a good gap here to be taking the trade on, but not really much. So let's go over lunchtime again. Initiated intent lower, that ended up getting played as the Judas swing or the retracement. AM, we just displaced towards London highs. We had this really pretty good, so it's like a range, almost like range initiation, mitigation, continuation. This setup probably not gonna save anywhere, but yeah, not really much to say about this, and PM just delivered higher, so not much to say about this, Gengi. Ooh, I'm getting tired. I'm getting fucking tired. Like, it's a lot of work, I ain't gonna lie. Let's go gold. What did gold do yesterday? Oh yeah, it just ended up leaving over that 4 hour, I think. Yeah, it just ended up leaving and massively displacing. This was higher time frame draw. We just end up flying. So holding 4 hour, flying towards draw. Don't need more than that, Gengi. Don't need more than that. Hourly is the same thing. I'm not gonna go over it. We did have a nice retest here on some sort of inversion. I think this was it. Yeah, on an inversion. Really nice retest here on the hourly. This is what's interesting. So this was probably the only opportunity we would have caught in this. Boom, 15 minute. Let's go. Boom. I'm not gonna even write anything. London didn't do shit, bro. Didn't do shit. I mean, kind of initiated the move higher, to be honest, but it just was low. Initiated the move higher. That's why gold should be traded in fucking New York, bruh. And basically the only opportunity was here in PM or in silver bullet, but not really. So there's nothing much more to discuss about gold, because gold very rarely gives entries. like proper entries. I think they should have been here. Oops, they should have been here. And now we gotta do the big boy, the USD JPY trade. Move my drawing, 64 drawings, man. Low resistance, liquid. Didn't really fully tap that 4 hour though, so we had 4 hour inverse to 4 hour gap. 4 hour inverse to 4 hour gap. There are no buy sell liquidity rates, sadly. 4 hour inverse plus 4 hour gap overlap, clear drawn liquidity. And I think we also took a range high. Plus higher time frame range high taken. Boom, 1 hour. Let's see. This was our here. I remember I refined towards this order block, and then I was waiting on that inversion here, which ended up being our trade idea. I'm pretty sure. No, buy sell liquidity, really nice buy sell liquidity raid here. This was a nice buy sell liquidity. Refined order block, but this was 4 hour with a 1 hour inverse, exactly what we need to take price lower towards our draw on liquidity. Really solid here, solid hourly. Refined the 4 hour area to 1 hour order block, and was waiting for a trigger to confirm lower prices. I mean, this was a bit unconventional to be taken like straight off the bat. Yeah, since we didn't reach the FVG, we didn't have that clean. This was like a range high getting taken. We had a 4 hour, I mean not really, so we had like 4 hour inversion. That's pretty much a 4 hour, which is the same thing. Trigger and the follow-up. We didn't necessarily need a follow-up, I think, but yeah, raid Asia into massive overextended London continuation, I would call this profile. So raid Asia into massive London continuation, overextended London continuation. London, I remember London already had a good entry here, very good entry, but should have you taken this? I'm not sure here. Or probably still taking it on the inversion lower. This was the breakaway, and then we end up holding this small gap here, which could have been a trade Asian lows for STP, and final would have been the lows. But yeah, this was also raid Asia plus, I mean raid Asia, basically it was a raid Asia. So boom, second entry, which I would have liked to confirm the inversion. No follow-up. With follow-up. Lunchtime, I don't even gonna break down, like it just massively delivered. So we had this as draw, we had this as draw, and we had this this maybe as draw, but we're building a really nice. But this was a good setup, so I'm gonna save it again into my raid Asia. Where is you, my boy? This was extremely good trade. Not gonna talk much about it, but it was an extremely good trade. So we had a lot of opportunities. Yeah, and that was it for these analysis. I still gotta do one more, but on God, I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna end the stream here and do like the other breakdown that I have for today. Gonna do it later because already like I'm burning out and I need to work out and do some things. So I think it's fine 1 hour to be yeah. Boom, final trade analysis. We can check this one because we recovered it. And yeah, we had Euro, GU, USD, JPY, and DAX trending Asia lower. So like four really good opportunities to be trading in that day, which was in yesterday. It was two, like USD, JPY ended up being the most high quality one, which ended up running towards like a 15 hour. Most quality entry here, risk entry here, ended up running towards 15 hour. Euro was decent. This trade ended up running again towards like a 5 hour. This trade ended up running the same in London. Here we would have gotten a 2 hour. So there was a lot of opportunities. It just yeah, we didn't take the right ones, if that makes sense. And the one on DAX ended up running towards 11. So we had a lot of very fucking good setup that day. I ain't gonna lie, it was just up to us to take it. Probably would have taken UJ though. UJ was the best. I'm gonna think about this. Would have a risk entry would have been fine of that hourly FVG? Would have the risk entry been fine? That's my question. So looking at, I don't think so. I think probably still the better choice would have been to see that, because not such a strong POI, not fully complete. I mean, we had the inversion from previous day. So inversion, yeah, it's just a bit unconventional. I wouldn't have taken risk setups, but in this case, I feel like it worked really well because Spice Liquidity also got taken. But yeah, I wouldn't probably taken it anyway. So yeah, thank you for being here. This was it for today. I'm gonna do, I'm gonna not backtest. I already backtest today, and I'm gonna break down the pairs that we had today and what happened today off camera, because right now I cannot really keep going and I have some other things to do. It's 8, so